Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Today is Friday, April 12th. Welcome to HHS In Depth. Let's begin with an overview of today's show. To start us off, reporter Owen Kruger brings us a report over graduation pathways on campus and why they are required for all students to complete. Then reporter Grace Dickmeyer will let us know all about the benefits of taking dual credit in AP classes. Following that story, reporter Taylor Ham catches up with a former Homestead student who now works at Nickelodeon's animation studio, which is going to release a new show this summer on Paramount+. Matthias Arizmendi lets us know what kind of weather we can expect the next 7 days. Elena Baker recaps the winter performing arts season in Behind the Curtain, and to close us out is Graham DeWitt with another edition of Down to the Wire. All of this and much more today, only on HHS In Depth. Hello, Spartans, and welcome to HHS In Depth. I'm Cameron Elder.
And I'm Carly Swimeller. And Cameron, did you watch the solar eclipse this past Monday?
I did. I traveled with some friends to see the totality. What about you?
Nice. I watched it from the Target parking lot with the Barnes & Noble employees. Well, here's a photo submitted to us by sophomore Owen Vanderweel that he captured from his home.
Thanks for the photo, Owen. And if you didn't witness totality, just know that the next time Fort Wayne will be within the path of a total solar eclipse is September 14th of 2099.
HHS In Depth, National News.
And now switching to national news. If you flew into Cleveland this past Saturday from spring break, you are probably aware of the crash that took place on the runway. The incident happened shortly after 6 p.m. and left roughly 5 planes to divert and 7 grounded. The single-engine plane had an issue while landing, and the engine then caught fire on the runway. Ohio State Highway Patrol later said the plane touched down onto the runway, bounced back up, and nosedived, and then crashed. There were 2 people inside the plane, according to OSHP, and a 64-year-old man was taken to Metro Health Medical Center for non-life-threatening injuries. A 62-year-old woman was not injured. Tesla has reached a resolution in a wrongful death lawsuit filed by the family of Walter Huang, an Apple engineer and father of 2. Huang tragically lost his life in 2018 when his Model X SUV equipped with autopilot features collided with a highway barrier near Mountain View, California. An investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board back in 2020 indicated that Tesla's technology contributed to the accident, along with potential driver distraction and issues related to road construction. NTSP suggested that Huang may have been distracted by a mobile game before the collision occurred.
Thanks, Carly, for the update.
Cam, I don't know about you, but I am so happy I finished my graduation pathway modules, so they're out of the way and I don't have to stress about them anymore.
I haven't completed mine yet, but I'm curious as to what their importance is.
Reporter Owen Kruger sat down with Ms. Hepner concerning everything students need to know about the modules.
So the graduation pathways is something that the state of Indiana, the politicians in the state of Indiana have said that all Indiana high school students have to complete all 4 years of high school.
Students are able to work on the graduation pathways at home. However, they have designated time within the school day to complete the modules.
And they should be working on them in their 5th period classes with their 5th period teacher. Their 5th period teacher will have a conversation with them about it at the end of the semester. And if you don't have a 5th period teacher, it's something that either one of the administrators or counselors will be able to check that you've completed, but every student has to do it.
With such a heavy emphasis from Homestead, students might wonder why the graduation pathways are mandatory.
In terms of taking it seriously, believe it or not, we do submit these to the state of Indiana. They do ask us to turn these in. Essentially, they want to know that not only are our students getting their Core 40 or beyond diploma, those English, math, foreign language, science credits, but they also want to know that our students are ready either for college or the career field.
For many upperclassmen, the modules this year may come as a surprise.
Yeah, it changed last year is what we had them all separated into different modules. Grade 9 had its own module and 10 had its own module. We put everybody's into one. So there's one, it's kind of a one-stop shop. Everybody clicks on the same Google Slides. You just have to complete the slides that pertain to your grade level. So very easy to find, very easy to complete.
Although completing them can be a tedious process, the pathways are useful in a number of ways concerning the future of every student here. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Owen Kruger.
Thanks for the story, Owen. Stick around and we'll be back shortly with more HHS In Depth.
Did you know that a Homestead graduate now works for Nickelodeon's animation team? I'll let you know what she does in her studio and how she got the job a little later on in the show.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Prom will be held on Saturday, May 4th. If you wish to bring a guest who is not a current student at Homestead, you must complete a dance guest request form. Please plan ahead. This form requires the signature of your guest's parents and school administrator. The deadline to turn in the completed form is Friday, April 26th at 3 p.m. There are absolutely no exceptions to this cutoff time. No faxes or late copies will be accepted. Forms are available on the Homestead website and in the discipline office.
If you have not yet purchased this year's yearbook, be sure to do so soon. You can purchase one at the QR code shown in the graphic. Also, if your parents are interested in taking out an ad in the yearbook, have them go to the same link.
Did you go anywhere exciting over spring break? Do you have any cool eclipse photos? Email them to Ms. Barrett at the email address shown here to have them featured in this year's yearbook.
Homestead has been given permission to hire juniors and seniors to work after school helping our maintenance team by cleaning the floors and stairways each day after school. Hours are 3 to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, and the pay is $17.62 per hour. If interested, students should go to the SACS website to apply or scan the QR code shown in the graphic, and be sure to apply for the part-time position.
Have you ever wanted to visit Greece? You're in luck, as Homestead students will be going soon. There will be an informational meeting for you and your parents on Thursday, April 18th at 6 p.m. in the gray box. Sign up using the QR code shown here and contact Miss B at the email address shown below for more information.
Seniors, scholarship season is in full swing and there are numerous scholarships with deadlines in April. Do not miss the opportunity to apply. Further details are listed online at the HHS scholarship page. Carly, it is such a weird feeling to be a senior and not partake in choosing my classes for next year.
I hear you. Going into my junior year and choosing between dual credit and AP courses is definitely a struggle.
For sure. That can be a hard decision. Reporter Grace Dickmeyer is in now to explain the benefits of both.
When scheduling your classes, have you ever wondered about the difference between AP and dual credit courses? The teachers who teach these courses at Homestead give their insight on the difference. There are benefits and drawbacks to both, and these can assist your decision-making for classes next year.
Some of the benefits for a dual credit enrollment would be that, just like the name implies, you actually get credits in two different areas. Number one, you get credit for having completed a core class for graduation in Indiana. You also, by doing the exact same thing, get a credit through Indiana University. So that will satisfy that requirement as well for an undergraduate degree.
Every advanced placement course curriculum is defined by College Board. College Board sets the curriculum for every AP course taken in the entire world. So if you take a AP chemistry class, for instance, at Homestead, Indiana, or you live in California or another country, you are learning the same curriculum. So colleges understand when they get an AP transcript, they know exactly what that student has been taught and what that student has learned based on their test score.
So, both AP and dual credit courses earn college credits. But why is one different than the other?
Everything that gets graded is graded by a teacher like myself that you see on a daily basis. With AP, your final test, which is something you don't have to take in dual credit, the final test that you end up having to take gets shipped away, and that gets graded by somebody who doesn't know you. They don't understand what that student is trying to say, that they just grade it based off of a rubric that they understand.
More colleges around the country accept AP credit. Usually dual credit courses, they're accepted by colleges in state, but a lot of times out of state colleges may not accept a dual credit course, or they will use it as an elective course instead of in that specific subject.
If you would like to change any of your courses, contact your counselor prior to June 5th. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Grace Dickmeyer.
Thank you for the story, Grace.
Cam, have you been keeping up with any new shows coming out recently?
Not really. Why?
Well, a graduate here at Homestead has been recently working on one over at the Nickelodeon studio that is coming out soon.
Reporter Taylor Ham joins us now to tell us more about it.
Many students take an interest in art, whether it's just for a class or even as a hobby. One Spartan student went from art classes here at Homestead to a job at Nickelodeon. So how'd she take her humble origins and paint this new picture for herself?
Growing up, my parents always told me I loved to draw when I was little. Through middle school and even high school, I worked mostly traditionally.
While learning all the basics of art can be tricky and time-consuming, how did she learn animation as a beginner?
There's a lot of really good online resources. I didn't go to traditional art school, so I relied on a lot of these online courses to kind of teach me what I know. YouTube is a great resource, and the internet has definitely become a good place for resources as well. I took a few courses through Brainstorm School, so there's a lot of different options that, are also more financially affordable that can teach you these basics as well.
With Nickelodeon being such a big company with many positions, how did she get hired and what is her job in the studio?
So I had interviewed for a couple other projects before the current project I'm on now. Just didn't work out timing-wise. I met some recruiters from Nickelodeon at an animation expo I went to. I did a portfolio review and they put me forward for some production assistant jobs. Like when we're in peak production, I'll have maybe 4 to 5 meetings a day. I go to storyboard pitches, like art reviews, tracking artwork, and making sure everything gets sent to the vendor animation studio in Canada that they need in order to successfully animate the episode.
Make sure to catch Natalie's first project for Nickelodeon, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which will be streaming this summer on Paramount+. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Taylor Ham.
Thank you, Taylor. We'll be back with more on HHS In Depth right after this.
Our spring sports teams continue to make headlines with incredible performances over the past few weeks. I'll tell you more about it later on in Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth. And Carly, I know we both were in Florida this past weekend enjoying the summer-like temps.
Yes, and I'm definitely missing the warmth right now. Hopefully Matthias can fill us in if those temps will be hitting the fort near in the future.
Thanks, Carly and Cameron. Today we'll reach 54 with the chance of rain being expected. You can expect cloudy and windy conditions at the end of the school day, so make sure to dress accordingly if you have any plans. As for the weekend, it looks pretty good, with Saturday getting to 63 and Sunday getting to a high of 76, and both days bringing lots of sunshine with it, though there's a chance for thunderstorms later on Sunday. So definitely get out and enjoy the great weather. Looking ahead to next week, let's just say the outlook for the weather is amazing, with Monday getting a high of 77 degrees and check Tuesday, it's only going to drop 1 degree. But although the temps will be great, your hair won't be, as the humidity will be high with a good chance of rain. On the other hand, the sun will return on Wednesday with the temps going up to 79. And finally, Thursday cooling off a little with it being 74, but unfortunately, the rain could return that morning. I don't know about you, but I for one am glad the weather is finally locked in the spring-like temps and not all over the place like we've seen since February. Be sure to enjoy this upcoming week's weather. Cameron, Carly, back to you.
Thank you, Matthias. Seeing that the temperatures are turning more in the summer direction is so exciting.
For sure. We now turn it to Elena Baker, who will recap us on the winter performing arts season in Behind the Curtain.
Welcome back to Behind the Curtain. I'm Elena Baker. I'm here to wrap up all of the major accomplishments that our performing arts groups have made this year. To start us off, the Homestead Show Choirs had an amazing season, earning the title of Grand Champs 5 consecutive times between both Elite and Class Royale. Elite won Grand Champs at Northridge, Cherubusco, and Columbia City. Class Royale took home 2 at both Northridge and Columbia City. The amazing backup band for the choirs, Anonymous Blue, won Best Band 10 times this season, a record for the group. Congratulations to all who made it into the groups for the 2024 and 2025 season. Moving on, overall, the Homestead dance team competed at 3 competitions, regionals, state, and nationals. Collectively among both JV and varsity in styles such as jazz, hip hop, and more, they received 9 first place finishes. JV placed second at state, with varsity taking home third. Also at state, the Champions Together dance team performed for their 2nd year in a row. At nationals, the JV jazz and hip hop placed 7th and 2nd, with varsity jazz placing 10th and varsity hip hop placing 3rd in the nation. Congrats to all dancers who competed this year. Next up, the jazz ensembles did amazing, placing first 6 different times at numerous challenging competitions. Almost all soloists earned awards for outstanding performances during these competitions. Our advanced jazz ensemble qualified for ISMA State, receiving the highest score they have in years. Congratulations to all in the jazz bands. Winter Guard had an amazing season consisting of many amazing performances. To end off the great season, the varsity group entitled Cursed placed 11th at state. The JV group's theme for the 2024 season was Bejeweled. Congrats on an amazing season, ladies. Next, Homestead Handbells has a concert on May 17th featuring their amazing talents, as well as Homestead's new brass choir and others. Be sure to check it out. Moving on to the Homestead Spartan Alliance Marching Band, they had a director change this year from Mr. Warfield to Mr. Kane, and this switch has positively affected the outcome of the band. They placed 5th at state finals for their 36th consecutive time competing, and 2nd in Bands of America Grand Nationals semifinals Class AAA. They recently traveled to Disney World to compete and perform in the daily parade. Congrats on an amazing season. Just a reminder that the Homestead Spring Musical this year is Mamma Mia. Be sure to come out Mother's Day weekend and catch a show. Tickets are $15 at the door. For Behind the Curtain, I'm Elena Baker. Carly, Cam, back to you.
Thank you, Elena. I feel like I haven't heard any Homestead-related sports news recently.
That is true. And now it is time to turn to Graham DeWitt to give us a sports update and Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Graham DeWitt. While many of our teams rested up over break, today's episode starts with our baseball team as they were hard at work just before the break ended. On Saturday, the boys traveled all the way down to Championship Field in Kokomo for a doubleheader. They started out the day strong with a win over Wapahani. The boys forced a mercy rule victory in the 6th inning with a ground rule double to win the game 11-1. This game was highlighted by senior Alex Graber's incredible day on the mound as he had 66 pitches and 11 strikeouts in 6 innings. The momentum carried over into the next game as the boys dominated Zionsville 9-2. They play again tomorrow in their home opener against Cathedral. Our softball team took on Southern Wells on Wednesday, and even in the cold and rainy conditions, the offense exploded as the Spartans took down Southern Wells 14-4, with the 10-run mercy rule taking place in just 5 innings. Addie Mae Fleming paced the Spartans offense with 4 RBIs. The softball team travels to Northridge tomorrow morning for a doubleheader. Going with girls track, senior Addison Canablo was named a Sir Toma Award winner last Monday. This is an award given to a senior student athlete who shows not just athletic achievement, but good character and leadership as well. Congratulations, Addison, on this recognition. We also have 2 Spartans at the next level who made an impressive accomplishment playing in the Men's March Madness tournament. Class of 2021 grad Luke Goody was part of the University of Illinois team that made it to the Elite 8, and 2022 grad Fletcher Lawyer was on the Purdue squad that went all the way to the championship game. Both of these former Spartans played significant roles for each of their teams, and both had some big March Madness moments as well. Congratulations to both Luke and Fletcher for their incredible accomplishments. That does it for this edition of Down to the Wire. Thank you for watching. Cam, Carly, back to you.
Thank you, Graham.
That'll do it for today's episode of HHS In Depth. Thank you all for watching today. Make sure to check out our socials for updates on the HHS In Depth team, our upcoming projects.
Have a wonderful weekend, Homestead. We'll see you here again next week.